All right, we're up again. Welcome back, radio fans. Big Al here on this Saturday, March 26, 2022. And we are back with part two of our Grand Rapids area radio stations reissue. This time we're taking a look at the FM side of the dial. And we're including stations across West Michigan, including Grand Rapids, Kalamazoo, Muskegon, Battle Creek, and Benton Harbor. So let's not waste any time and jump right in, shall we? Starting off with the traditional non-commercial band, you've got 88.1 Channel 201, WYCE Wyoming. They're branded 78.1 WYCE. Their slogan is Independent Community Radio for West Michigan. They are a non-commercial adult album alternative station. Affiliations with grcmc.org. GRCMC standing for the Grand Rapids Community Media Center. WYCE signed on the air in 1983. They have a Class B1 license with the Federal Communications Commission, broadcasting at an ERP of 10,000 watts from studios located at 711 Bridge Street Northwest in Grand Rapids, which is Grand Rapids Community Media Center. Located at 2831 Woodward Avenue Southwest in WYCE is owned and operated by the aforementioned Grand Rapids Community Media Center. 88.5 Channel 203 and 95.3 Channel 237 are the same station. 88.5 Channel 203 is WGVU-FM Allendale, broadcasting in high definition. 95.3 Channel 237, broadcasting in standard analog, is WGVS-FM Whitehall. Both stations are branded as WGVU Radio, featuring news, talk, and jazz music. Affiliations with NPR and Public Radio International. WGVU-FM signed on the air as VC-FM on July 17, 1983. Back then, Grand Valley State University was known as Grand Valley State College. They held the WSRX call sign they met to their construction permit as far back as 1974. WGVS-FM signed on the air as WLRQ in 1975. Held the WLRC-FM call sign during their construction permit in 1972. Changed to WLRQ upon its sign-on in 74, and used 4 different sets of call letters on air from 1979 until Grand Valley State University purchased the station in 1999 and changed them to WGVS-FM. Both stations have Class A licenses with the Federal Communications Commission, with WGVU-FM broadcasting with an effective radiated power of 4,000 watts and WGVS-FM operating at an effective radiated power of 2,000 watts. Studios and offices are located at the Meyer Public Broadcast Center on GVSU's downtown campus at 301 West Fulton Street in Grand Rapids. WGVU-FM's transmitter is located near 68th Avenue South at I-96 in Coopersville. WGVS-FM's transmitter is off of West Mitchell. It's off of West Michelin. I'll try and read this. Michelinda Road. Made it sound tougher than it was. Anyway, WGVS's transmitter is off of West Michelinda Road in Whitehall, and both stations are owned by Grand Valley State University. Again, their AM counterparts are both silent. Short space next to them on 88.7 channel 204 is WSIS Riverside Smile FM, broadcasting contemporary Christian and religious form. They are a contemporary Christian music and religious station. Their first sign-on was unknown. They have a Class B1 license with the Federal Communications Commission, broadcasting at 6,000 watts of ERP. Main studios are located in Williamston, Michigan, which is near Lansing. That's their main studios. Their secondary studios are in Imlay City at 3302 North Van Dyke. WSIS's transmitters on 82nd Street near I-196 and US 31 in Colbert Township. WSIS is owned by Superior Communications, and programming is relayed on translator station W262AF at 100.3 FM in Parchment, which covers the Kalamazoo area. Short space next to them on 88.9 channel 205 is WHEY North Muskegon. Hey 89.9. This station plays Christian alternative rock. Yes, there is such a thing as Christian alternative rock, folks. This station signed on the air in 2008. They have a Class A license with the Federal Communications Commission, broadcasting with 1,000 watts effective radiated power. All right, let me just... All right. Their studios are located somewhere in Muskegon, but they do have a mailing address. It's P.O. Box 1511, Muskegon, Michigan 49443. The station's transmitter is in Muskegon at 1433 Simonelli Road, and they are owned by the Muskegon Community Radio Broadcast Company. Short space next to them on 89.1 channel 206 is WIDR Kalamazoo. WIDR 89.1 FM, your station for radio evolution. This is a student-run variety radio station which signed on the air in 1952. They have a Class A license with the Federal Communications Commission, broadcasting with an ERP of just 100 watts. Their studios are located on the WMU campus at 1501 Font Student Center at 1501 Font Student Services Building. That's on Howard Street in Kalamazoo. And their transmitter is also on the WMU campus at 1903 West Michigan Avenue. The station, as you can tell, is owned by Western Michigan University. 89.3 channel 207 is WGNB Zeeland. Moody Radio. They broadcast a religious format, signing on the air as WXYB on July 24th, 1987, and became WGNB on April 16th, 1991. They have a Class B license with the Federal Communications Commission, broadcasting at 30,000 watts effective radiated power. Studios are located at 3764 84th Avenue in Zeeland. Transmitter is also at that same address. The station is owned by the Moody Bible Institute and licensed to the Moody Bible Institute of Chicago. Short space next to them on 89.5 channel 208 is WOFR Schoolcraft. Family Radio, Christian talk and religious format, signing on the air in 2003. They had a construction permit with WMBY call sign from October 29th, 1999 through August 23rd, 2002, and then became WOFR upon sign-on. They had a Class B1 license. They have a Class B1 license with the Federal Communications Commission, broadcasting with an ERP of 10,000 watts. Studios originate from Family Radio's headquarters at 4057 Rosa Palms Circle, Suite 300 in Franklin, Tennessee. This is a suburb of Nashville, by the way. So that means the station is not local in Kalamazoo based on where programming originates from. The transmitter, however, is local. It's at the end of Denton Street in Schoolcraft, the station's city of license. WOFR is owned by Family Radio and licensed to Family Stations Incorporated. Short space next to them on 89.7 Channel 209 is WHNG Grand Rapids. Strong Tower Radio. This is a Christian radio station which signed on the air circa 1960s as WEHB on 89.9 FM. The station then became WBYW in 1991, WAYG in 1998, and WCXG in 2013, before becoming WHNG in 2016 with its current format. The station moved from 89.9 to 89.7 in 2015. They have a Class A license with the FCC, broadcasting at 3,200 watts effective radiated power. Their studios originate at 7669 South 45th Road in Cadillac, Michigan. The station's transmitter location is unlisted. WHNG is owned by West Central Michigan Media Ministries. And you have two stations on 89.9 Channel 210. The first is WKDS Kalamazoo. Classical WMUK. They play classical music, and this station signed on the air originally in 1983. WSDK, the station held WSDK as their call sign from 1981 through 82 during a construction permit, changed to WKDS when signing on. They have a Class A license with the Federal Communications Commission, broadcasting at just 140 watts effective radiated power. Their studios are located at 606 East Kilgore Road in Kalamazoo. Transmitter is located at Lloyd Norrix High School at the same address, 606 East Kilgore Road in Kalamazoo. WKDS is owned by Kalamazoo Public Schools and operated by Western Michigan University, and the classical music format heard on this station is relayed on WMUK HD2. More on that soon. The other station on 89.9 is WTHS Holland. 89.9 WTHS FM. 89.9 is, of course, spelled out. The Voice of Hope College. This is an alternative rock station signing on the air in September, or was founded rather in September of 1956, and signing on the air on September 27th, 1985. The station was an unlicensed carrier current station, WTAS, from its 1956 founding up until 1984. WTHS presently has a Class A license with the Federal Communications Commission, broadcasting at 1,000 watts ERP. Their studios are located at the Martha Miller Global Center for Communications on the Hope College campus on Columbia Avenue in Holland. Their transmitter is located at the Haas Conference Center, 264 Columbia Avenue in Holland. WTHS, as I alluded to, is owned by Hope College. Short space next to them on 90.1 channel 211 is WYBA Coldwater. This station is a part of the Bible Broadcasting Network, broadcasting a religious format. Affiliations by the Bible Broadcasting Network. First sign-on is unknown. Their FCC license is Class B. They operate at 32,000 watts effective radiated power. Studios are located at the BBN headquarters in Charlotte, North Carolina. Their mailing address is 11530 Carmel Commons Boulevard, Charlotte, North Carolina, zip code 28226. WYBA's transmitter is in Athens, Michigan, on M66 at N Drive South. WYBA is owned and operated by the Bible Broadcasting Network of Charlotte, North Carolina. 90.3 channel 212 and 88.9 channel 205 are the same station. 90.3 channel 212 is WBLV Twin Lake. This broadcasts to the Muskegon area. 88.9 channel 205 is WBLU FM Grand Rapids. Both stations are branded as Blue Lake Public Radio. They are a public news, talk, classical, and jazz station. WBLV Twin Lakes signed on the air on April 19, 1982. While WBLU FM Grand Rapids signed on August 18, 1979 as WGNR and also used WQMB. The station officially became WBLU August 11, 1993. WBLV Twin Lake is a Class C1 station which operates at 100,000 watts. WBLV FM Grand Rapids is a Class A station which operates at 650 watts. Studios are located at the Blue Lake Fine Arts Camp at 300 East Crystal Lake Road in Twin Lake. And I assume that they also have secondary offices in Grand Rapids. The WBLV transmitter is near the intersection of Garfield Road and M120 in Hesperia, while WBLU's transmitter is at 860 Perkins Avenue Northeast in Grand Rapids. Both stations are owned by Blue Lake Fine Arts Camp. 90.7 channel 214 is WAUS Berrien Springs. WAUS 90.7 FM. This station plays classical music and is affiliated with National Public Radio. WAUS signed on the air on January 10th, 1971. They have a Class B license with the Federal Communications Commission, broadcasting at 50,000 watts effective radiated power. Studios are located on the campus of Andrews University in Berrien Springs. Transmitter is located on International Court, also on the Andrews University campus in Berrien Springs. Station is, of course, owned by Andrews University and although it is a Benton Harbor station, it's also aimed at the South Bend radio market across the border in Indiana. Short space next to them on 90.9 channel 215 is WSLI Belding. Smile FM. They have a religious/contemporary Christian format. First sign-on is unknown. They have a Class B1 license with the FCC, broadcasting at 11,500 watts effective radiated power. Programming originates from studios in Imlay City, Michigan on North Van Dyke. The station's transmitter is on M44, Belding Road Northeast in Belding. The station is owned by Superior Communications and translator station W260CQ, 99.9 FM, Plainfield Township, relays WSLI's programming to the greater Grand Rapids area. 91.3, Channel 217 is WCSG, Grand Rapids. 91.3 WCSG. They play Christian adult contemporary music. This station signed on the air on January 9th, 1973. They have a Class B license with the Federal Communications Commission, operating at 37,000 watts ERP. Now, the studios I have written down is at 3181 Bradford Street, Northeast in Grand Rapids. Although I think on Radio Locator, they list their address as 1159 East Beltline Avenue Northeast, which is the address of Cornerstone University. But their studios are at 3181 Bradford Street Northeast in Grand Rapids. The transmitter, which they share with WGRD FM, is located near the intersection of 92nd Street and Eastern Avenue Southeast in Byron Center. WCSG is owned and operated by the aforementioned Cornerstone University, and their programming is simulcast on 3 other stations across West Michigan. WCFG 90.9 FM, Springfield, Michigan, that's in the Battle Creek area. WCXB 89.9 FM, Benton Harbor, St. Joseph. And WCXK 88.3 in Kalamazoo. 91.7, Channel 219 is WMCQ Muskegon. AFR Talk. This is a conservative-leaning Christian talk and teaching format. First sign-on and their FCC license are both unknown. Their effective radiated power is 6,000 watts. PO location is unknown. Mailing address is P.O. Box 334, Stenwood, Michigan, 49346. The station's transmitter is on Alger Road at West 136th Street in Grant, Michigan. This is the same. This is also the Channel 13 television tower that WZZM TV uses. WZZM is, of course, one of 2 ABC stations in Grand Rapids. WMCQ is owned by American Family Association and is the only AFR affiliate in the state of Michigan. Short space next to them on 91.9, Channel 220, you have a couple of stations as we round out this non-commercial band. The first station we'll look at is WDPW Greenville. Power 91. Urban contemporary gospel format. First sign-on is unknown. They have a Class A license with the FCC, broadcasting at 4,000 watts. Their studios, I'm not sure where they are. I'm assuming they're somewhere in Grand Rapids. Their mailing address is P.O. Box 6465, Grand Rapids, Michigan. Station transmitter is in Belding on Belding Road Northeast, 40 tower used by WSLI. WDPW is owned by Larlin Communications Incorporated, which is also the station's licensee. And the other station on 91.9 is WMJC Richland, Strong Tower Radio, which is a Christian radio format affiliated with Strong Tower Radio. This station signed on the air in 2008 as WTNP. They have a Class A license with the Federal Communications Commission, broadcasting at 6,000 watts. Studios are at 7669 South 45 Road in Cadillac. Transmitter location is undisclosed. They are also owned by West Central Media Ministries. So this would pretty much be the Strong Tower radio station for Kalamazoo, if you ask me. Now to the commercial side of the FM band. 92.1 Channel 221 has two stations. The first broadcasts in standard analog, and that's WGHN FM Grand Haven. 92.1 FM WGHN. They play an adult contemporary format. This station signed on the air on January 28, 1969 as WGHN FM, and they also use WFMG for a spell as their call sign. They have a Class A license with the Federal Communications Commission. Effective radiated power is 3,000 watts. Studios are located at 1 South Harbor Drive in Grand Haven. Transmitter is located at the Mulligan's Hollow Recreation Area on Emmett Street, also in Grand Haven. WGHN is owned by Will Timon and licensed to WGHN Incorporated. Also on 92.1, this station broadcasts in HD, and that's WHPD Dowagiac. Pulse FM 96.9, 92.1, and 103.1. They play contemporary Christian music. Station signed on the air in July 1971 as WDOW-FM. They also use WVHQ. They have a Class A license with the FCC, broadcasting at 3,300 watts. Studios are located at 68455 Riverview Drive in South Haven. The station's transmitter is at 25217 Mackenzie Street in Dowagiac. WHPD is owned by South Bend, Indiana-based LaSalle Broadcasting, and programming is simulcast on WHPZ 96.9 FM Brennan, Indiana, and WHME 103.1 FM in South Bend. 92.5 Channel 223 also has two stations. The first is WWSN Nuevo, Sunny 92.5, playing adult contemporary music. This station signed on as WKOQ on July 29, 2005, and used WODJ and WODJ FM during their construction permit, and used WLAW on air. They have a Class A license with the Federal Communications Commission, broadcasting at 2,250 watts. Studios are located at 3375 Merriam, Suite 201 in Muskegon Heights. Their transmitter is in Ashland Township on West 136th Street and Alger Road. WWSN is owned by Cumulus Media and licensed by Radio Licensing Holding CBC LLC. Of course, CBC stands for Cumulus Broadcasting Company. The other station on 92.5 is WZUU Mattawan, Rock 92.5 The Zoo. This is a mainstream rocker, signing on the air in 1990 on 92.3 FM, using WKG They signed on as WKGH sometime in 1990. And they also used WNTX as its call sign from 95 to 97 with an alternative rock format known as Radio X at the time. The station became a classic rocker in 1997, moved to 92.5 on January 12, 2007. Of course, the 92.3 frequency was assigned to Allegan, whereas the 92.5 frequency is assigned to Mattawan. WZUU has a Class A license with the Federal Communications Commission, broadcasting at 6,000 watts effective radiated power. Studios are located at 706 East Allegan Street in Otsego, Michigan. Their transmitters on Stadium Drive in Kalamazoo. WZUU, Rock 92.5 The Zoo, is owned by Forum Communications. Short space next to those two stations on 92.7 channel 224 is WYVN Saugatuck. 92.7 The Van. They are a classic hits radio station, signing on the air as WEUS on August 30th, 1987 and became WYVN on March 30th, 2001. They had a Class A license with the Federal Communications Commission, broadcasting at an effective radiated power output of 3,300 watts from studios located at 87 Central Avenue in Holland. Transmitter is on Blue Star Highway at I-196 and US 31 in Saugatuck. WYVN is owned by Dewey E. Wright and licensed to Midwest Communications Incorporated. 93.1 channel 226 is WMFA Ferrisburg. Classic Rock 93.1. They play classic rock as and suggests. This station hasn't been on the air all that long, signing on in 2012. They have a Class A license with the FCC, broadcasting at 6,000 watts. Studios are at 1 South Harbor Drive in Grand Haven. Transmitters on Emmett Street at Mulligan's Hollow Recreation Area, also in Grand Haven. They're owned by Will Timon and licensed to WGHN Incorporated. All right, 93.7 channel 229, broadcasting in high definition, is the first of 3 Class B grandfather super-powered radio stations in the Grand Rapids market. And that's WBCT Grand Rapids. B93, West Michigan's #1 for new country. On 93.7 FM analog and 93.7-1 is country music. 93.7-2 is also country music, dubbed the Nashville Channel. WBCT first signed on the air in October of 1951 as WJEF-FM. Also used WJFM until July 21st, 1992, when the station launched its current country format with the WBCT call letters. So again, this is a Class B grandfather super-powered radio station broadcasting at an astounding 320,000 watts, which would make it the most powerful radio station in terms of ERP in all of North America. The station would only be powered at 20,000 watts if not grandfathered. Studios are located at 77 Monroe Street Northwest, Suite 1000 in Grand Rapids. The transmitter is on M179 or Chief Noonday Road in Gun Lake, which is the same transmitter used by WWMT Channel 3. WBCT is owned by iHeartMedia and licensed to IHM Licenses, LLC. 94.5 Channel 233 is WKLQ FM Holland. The Q 94.5. It's different here. This is an adult album alternative station, signing on as WJBL FM in 1961. During the station's construction permit, they used WFMK as their call sign, and on air they used WTNR during their run as a country station from 2004 to 2019. 94.5 originally used WKLQ from 1984 until 2004 as an AOR and mainstream rock station. WKLQ has a Class B license with the FCC, broadcasting at 50,000 watts. Studios are located at 60 Monroe Center Street Northwest, Suite 300 in Grand Rapids. Transmitter is on New Holland Street near 72nd Avenue in Zeeland. WKLQ, or the Q94.5, is owned by Cumulus Media and licensed to radio license holding CBC LLC, or Cumulus Broadcasting Company. 94.9 Channel 235 is WSJM FM Benton Harbor. News Talk 94.9. They broadcast the News Talk format with sports programming as well. They are affiliated with ABC News, the Michigan News Network, and they also broadcast Michigan Wolverines football to the Benton Harbor St. Joe area. This station signed on the air as WYKL in 1998, also used WCNF, and became WSJM FM in 2008. They have a Class A license with the FCC, broadcasting at 2,200 watts. Studios are located at 580 East Napier Avenue in Benton Harbor. Their mailing address is P.O. Box 107, St. Joseph, Michigan 49085. Their transmitter is in Sodus, Michigan on Town Line Road. WSJM FM is owned by Midwest Family Broadcasting. 95.3 Channel 237 is WBCK FM Battle Creek. 95.3 WBCK. This is also a news talker with affiliations with Fox News Radio and the Michigan Radio Network. They signed on as WPFP in 1986 and used 3 different sets of call letters until becoming WBCK-FM in 2007 and dropping the FM suffix in 2014. They have a Class A license with the FCC, broadcasting at 3,000 watts. Studios are at 390 Golden Avenue in Battle Creek. Transmitters on 6.5 Mile Road, M294 in Battle Creek. WBCK is owned by Town Square Media, licensed by Town Square License LLC. 95.7 Channel 239, broadcasting in high definition, is WLHT-FM Grand Rapids. Mix 95.7 on 95.7 FM analog and 95.7-1 as Hot Adult Contemporary. Now Wikipedia lists 95.7-2 as the simulcast of Smile FM, their building station WSLI, but it's really a simulcast of 1410 WNWZ or Magic 104.9, which is Urban Contemporary. WLHT-FM signed on the air on February 26, 1962 as WKLW. They used WZZM-FM and WZZR-FM as call signs. 95.7 at one point was co-owned with WZZM TV Channel 13. WLHT-FM has a Class B license with the FCC, broadcasting at 40,000 watts CRT. Studios located at 37 Ottawa Avenue, Suite 500 in Grand Rapids. Their transmitter is at 3842 Cordes Avenue Northwest in Comstock Park, near 4 Mile Road and Albion Avenue Northwest. Mix 95.7 WLHT-FM is owned by Town Square Media and licensed to Town Square Media of Grand Rapids Incorporated. 96.1 Channel 241, broadcasting in high definition, is WMAX-FM Holland. 96.1 The Game. On 96.1 FM Analog and 96.1-1 is Sports Talk. This is the primary ESPN radio affiliate, the secondary Fox Sports radio affiliate in Grand Rapids. And they also are GR's home of both the Detroit Pistons and Detroit Red Wings. WMAX-FM signed on as WHTC-FM in 1961, so this would be the sister station of WHTC AM 1450. The station used 4 different call signs until becoming WMAX-FM in 2005. They have a Class B license with the Federal Communications Commission, broadcasting at 50,000 watts. Studios are at 77 Monroe Center Street, Northwest, Suite 1000 in Grand Rapids. Transmitter is in Hudsonville on 3507 Felch Street. WMAX-FM 96.1 The Game is owned by iHeartMedia and licensed to IHM Licenses, LLC. 96.5 Channel 243 is WZOX Portage. Hits 96.5, which is a modern adult contemporary station, signing on as WLWJ in December of 1988. They used 4 different call signs or 4 different sets of call letters, including WFAT and WKZO FM, until they became WZOX in 2013. They have a Class A license with the FCC, broadcasting at 6,000 watts. Studios are located at 4200 West Main Street in Kalamazoo. Their transmitter is in Portage at 1723 Ramis Road. WZOX is owned by Duke Wright, licensed to Midwest Communications Incorporated. 96.9 Channel 245, broadcasting in high definition, is WLAV-FM Grand Rapids. Classic Rock 97 WLAV-FM Grand Rapids. The legend continues. On 96.9 FM Analog and 96.9-1 is Classic Rock. And this is the second of the 2 Grand Rapids area homes of Detroit Tigers baseball. Of course, I gotta look back at my notes. I think it was 12:30. They said was the other station. No, 1340. No, this is actually the only station in Grand Rapids that airs Detroit Tigers baseball. My mistake. This station signed on the air in 1948 by initial owner Leonard Adrian Versailles. That's where the LAV came from. They have a Class B license with the FCC, broadcasting at 43,000 watts CRP. Studios are at 60 Monroe Center Street, Northwest, Suite 300 in Grand Rapids. Transmitter is at 10290 48th Avenue in Allendale on GVSU's main campus. WLAV-FM is owned by Cumulus Media and licensed to Radio License Holdings CBC LLC. 97.5 Channel 248 has two stations. The first is WLAW-FM Whitehall. 97.5 Nash Icon, playing country music. Signing on the air as WPBK-FM in 1991. They used two different call signs until becoming WLAW in 2019 and added the FM suffix in 2021. They have a Class A license with the FCC, broadcasting at 3,000 watts. Studios are located at 3375 Merriam Street, Suite 201 in Muskegon Heights. Transmitter is in Montague at 4705 Stanton Boulevard. WLAW-FM is owned by Cumulus Media, licensed to Radio License Holdings CBC LLC, and programming is simulcast on WLAW 1490 AM, also licensed in Whitehall. 97.9 Channel 250, broadcasting in high definition, is WGRD-FM Grand Rapids. 97.9 GRD rocks. Actually, their technical slogan is West Michigan's rock station, but you get the idea. On 97.9 FM analog and 97.1 or 97.9-1 is active rock. 97.9-2 is classic hits, dubbed as Classic Rewind 99.1, but they did not list the translator station. WGRD-FM signed on the air in 1962 as WXTO. They, of course, became WGRD-FM as a simulcaster of then AM daytimer WGRD-AM 1410. So that's what the letters in GRD stood for, Grand Rapids Daytime, because this was derived from the AM station, who was required to go off the air by FCC law back in the day. WGRD-FM has a Class B license with the FCC, broadcasting at 13,000 watts effective radiated power. Studios are located at 37 Ottawa Avenue Northwest, Suite 500 in Grand Rapids. Their transmitter is at 92nd Street and Eastern Avenue Southeast in Byron Center, the same tower WCSG uses. WGRD-FM 97.9 GRD is owned by Town Square Media and licensed to Town Square License or Town Square Media of Grand Rapids Incorporated. All right, 98.3 Channel 252 has two stations. The first is in high definition. That's WCXT Hartford. 98.3 The Coast. On 90.3 FM analog and 98.3-1 is adult contemporary. And there are no additional subchannels. This station signed on the air in 1998 as WCSY-FM, also used WSJM-FM and WUAF as call signs. They have a Class A license with the FCC, broadcasting at 3,700 watts. Studios are located at 580 East Napier in Benton Harbor. Getting my towns mixed up. Sorry about that. Studios are at 580 East Napier in Benton Harbor. Mailing address is P.O. Box 107, St. Joseph 49085. Their transmitter is on 82nd Street near I-196 and US 31 in Covert Township. WCXT is owned by Midwest Family Broadcasting. The other station on 98.3 is WLCS North Muskegon. Classic Hits 98.3. They broadcast a classic hits format, affiliations with Cumulus Media, and this is Muskegon's official station for Detroit Lions football. WLCS signed on the air as WFMM in November of 1983 later became WAVX. They have a Class A license with the Federal Communications Commission, broadcasting at 1600 watts effective radiated power. Studios are located at 3375 Miriam Street, Suite 201 in Muskegon Heights. Their transmitter is on Dowson Road at East Tyler Road in Twin Lake. WLCS is owned by Cumulus Media, licensed to Radio Licensing Holdings CBC LLC. Short space next to them on 98.5, channel 253, is WNFM Coldwater. Now, this broadcasts to the Battle Creek area. Win 98.5, which is a country music station, signing on as WTVB-FM on November 16th, or rather November 11th, 1950. Use WAVG as its call sign from 1964 until becoming WNWN on December 21st, 1977, adding the FM prefix to its sign in 1995, and then dropping said FM prefix in 2019. They have a Class B license with the Federal Communications Commission, broadcasting at 50,000 watts effective radiated power. Their studios are located at 70 West Michigan Avenue in Battle Creek. Their transmitter is at 417 Herricksville Road in Tecumseh, Michigan. WNWN FM is owned by Duke Wright, licensed to Midwest Communications Incorporated. Short space next to them on 89.7, channel 254, is WFGR Grand Rapids. 98.7 WFGR Grand Rapids' greatest hits. They play a classic hits format, signing on as WXJI with a construction permit in 1992. In fact, WXJI was their call sign during their construction permit. They signed on officially as WFGR with a classical music format. They have a Class A license with the Federal Communications Commission, operating at 2,750 watts. Studios are at 37 Ottawa Avenue Northwest, Suite 500 in Grand Rapids. Their transmitter is located near the intersection of 4 Mile Road and Alpine Avenue at 3842 Cordes Avenue Northwest in Comstock Park. WFGR is owned by Town Square Media, licensed to Town Square Media of Grand Rapids Incorporated. 99.1, channel 256 is WSMK Niles. SMK 99.1. This is a rhythmic contemporary station which signed on the air in 1991. They have a Class A license with the FCC, broadcasting at 6,000 watts. The studios and the transmitter are located on South Phillip Road in Niles, Michigan. The station is owned by Marlon Williams and aims at the Michiana market, South Bend and Elkhart, Indiana, and far as southern Lower Michigan. Short space next to them on 99.3, channel 257 is WJQK Zeeland, Joy 99.3, which plays contemporary Christian music. They signed on as WZND FM in 1971 and became WJQX on January 5th, 1987. They have a Class A license with the FCC, broadcasting at 4,700 watts. Studios are at 425 Centerstone Court in Zeeland. Transmitter is on 72nd Avenue near I-196, also in Zeeland. WJQK is owned by Lancer Broadcasting. Again, it's spelled LANSER. 99.9 channel 260, broadcasting in high definition, is WQLQ Benton Harbor. Live 99.9. On 99.9 FM analog and 99.9-1 is Top 40 CHR. 99.9-2 is classic rock as 95.7 The Lake. Relayed over translator station W239CJ Benton Harbor on 95.7 FM. And on 99.9-3 is country music, known as 96.1 The Ton, relayed on translator station W241AD South Bend, Indiana on 96.1. WQLQ has a Class B license with the FCC, broadcasting at 50,000 watts of power, signing on the air as WHFB-FM on October 10th, 1947, and becoming WQLQ in 2016. Studios are located at 580 East Napier in Benton Harbor, Michigan. Mailing address is P.O. Box 107, St. Joseph, Michigan 49085. Transmitter is located at 46221 Timberland Drive in Berrien Springs. WQLQ is owned by Midwest Family Broadcasting. Short space next to them on 100.1 channel 261 is WVIB Holton. This is in the Muskegon area. V100. They play urban adult contemporary music from Cumulus Media's The Touch Network. This station signed on the air as WHS or WSHN FM in 1971 and became WVIB in 2005. They have a Class A license with the FCC, broadcasting at 2,900 watt TRP. Studios are located at 3375 Merriam Street, Suite 201 in Muskegon Heights. Their transmitter is on Dalsum Road and East Tyler Road in Twin Lake. That's the same transmitter WLCS uses. WVIB is owned by Cumulus Media and licensed to Radio License Holdings CBC LLC. 100.5 channel 263 is WTRV Walker. 100.5 The River. This is a gold-leaning soft adult contemporary station which signed on the air as WQFN on June 15, 1993, or my 12th birthday. The station became WTRV on June 26, 1998, days after my 17th birthday. They have a Class A license with the FCC, broadcasting at 3,000 watts. Studios are at 37 Ottawa Avenue Northwest, Suite 500 in Grand Rapids. Transmitters at 2853 3 Mile Road Northwest near I-96 in Walker. WTRV is owned by Town Square Media, licensed to Town Square Media of Grand Rapids Incorporated. Short space next to them on 100.7 channel 264, broadcasting in high definition, is a South Bend area station that goes into Benton Harbor, and that's WBYT Elkhart, Indiana. B100 on 100.7 FM analog and 100.7-1 is country music with no additional subchannels. They signed on the air as WTRC FM on April 1st, 1947, and used 3 different call signs across a 25-year period, beginning in 1969 until 1994 when they became WBYT. They have a Class B license with the FCC, broadcasting at 15,000 watt TRP. Their studios are at 237 Edison Road in Mishawaka, Indiana. That's near South Bend. Their transmitter is in Penn Township, Indiana, on Johnson Road. WBYT is owned by Pathfinder Communications Corporation. Short space next to them on 100.9 channel 265 is WQXC FM Allegan. Cool 101, the oldies station. They play oldies on this station. Signing on the air as WAOP on April 5th, 1981, and became WQXC on March 15th, 1985. They have a Class A license with the FCC, broadcasting at 3,000 watts. Studios are at 706 East Allegan in Otsego, Michigan. Transmitter is on 112th Avenue and 22nd Street, also in Otsego. WQXC FM Cool 101 is owned by Form Communications. 101.3 channel 267, broadcasting in high definition, is WBFX Grand Rapids. 101.3 Big FM. On 101.3 FM analog and 101.3-1 is oldies. 101.3-2 is heavy metal, also known as Full Metal Jackie. WBFX signed on as WMAX FM in 1962, used 4 different sets of calls, including WCUZ FM from 1965 to 2000, and at one point, this station was a very successful country station. WBFX took over as the call letters of this station in 2000. And again, this was the home of the successful country music station WCUZ FM, or 101.3 WCUZ, which at one point was simulcasting with WCUZ AM 1230, which is now talk station WTKG. WBFX has a Class B license with the FCC, broadcasting at 50,000 watts. Studios at 77 Monroe Center Street Northwest, Suite 1000 in Grand Rapids. Transmitters on 5 Mile Road Northeast and Lincoln Lake Road Northeast in Lowell. WBFX is owned by iHeartMedia and licensed to IHM Licenses LLC. 101.5 channel 268 is WNSN South Bend. This is another one of those South Bend stations that go in the Benton Harbor. Sunny 101.5. They play adult contemporary music throughout much of the year and Christmas music during the holidays, with programming from Premier Networks. WNSN signed on as WSBT FM on August 1st, 1962. The WSBT call letters were derived from the South Bend area CBS television station on Channel 22, WSBT TV. They also used WWJY and WTHQ as call signs until becoming WNSN. They have a Class B license with the Federal Communications Commission, broadcasting with an ERP of 13,000 watts. Those are located at 1301 East Douglas Road in Mishawaka, Indiana. Mailing address is P.O. Box 960, South Bend, Indiana 46624. Transmitter is also in South Bend in the 5500 block of Ironwood Drive. WNSN is owned by Midwest Family Broadcasting. And is South Bend's highest rated radio station, which also reaches the Benton Harbor St. Joe market. 101.7 channel 269 is WMRR Muskegon Heights. Rock 101. They play classic rock. Station signed on March 29, 1974 as WKJR FM. They also used WQFN and WQWQ-FM briefly in the early 90s until becoming WMRR with its classic rock format in 1992. You have a Class B1 license with the FCC, broadcasting at 12,000 watts. Studios are at 3565 Green Street, Muskegon. Transmitter is 3705 West Giles Road near North Peterson Road, also in Muskegon. WMRR Rock 1017 is owned by iHeartMedia, licensed to IHM Licenses LLC. 102.1 Channel 271, broadcasting in high definition, is WMUK Kalamazoo, Kalamazoo Public Radio. On 102.1 FM analog and 102.1-1 is public news, talk, and jazz. 102.1-2 is classical music. That's the simulcast of 89.9 WKDS. WMUK signed on as WMCR in 1951 and became WMUK a decade later in 1961. They have a Class B license with the FCC, broadcasting at 50,000 watt CRP. Studios are located on the WMU campus at 1903 West Michigan Avenue in Kalamazoo. That's on the first floor of Friedman Hall on the WMU campus. Their transmitter is at 8569 North 24th Street in Kalamazoo. WMUK, judging by the station's call letters, they are owned by Western Michigan University. 102.9 Channel 275 is WYHA Grand Rapids. Now a part of the Bible Broadcasting Network, featuring a religious format. Affiliations with the Bible Broadcasting Network. This station signed on the air in 1960, of course, as WFUR-FM, and was locally owned for 60 years until the station was sold to Bible Broadcasting Network in May of 2020. They have an FCC, their FCC license is Class B, rather. They operate at 50,000 watts effective radiated power. Their studios are at the BBN headquarters in Charlotte. That's Charlotte, North Carolina, not Charlotte, Michigan. Their mailing address is P.O. Box 7300, Charlotte, North Carolina, 28241-7300. The station's transmitter is on the same tower used by former AM counterpart WFUR AM, which is also the address of the station's studios, 399 Garfield Street, Southwest in Grand Rapids. WYHA is owned by Bible Broadcasting Network Incorporated. 103.3, Channel 277. Broadcasting in high definition is WKFR Battle Creek. 103.3 KFR, today's best music. On 103.3 FM analog and 103.3-1 is Top 40 CHR. And then on 103.3-2 is a classic hit station known as K102.5. Relayed on translator station W273AR, Paw Paw, Michigan, on 102.5 FM. WKFR has aired Top 40 CHR music since 1981. So they have been a Top 40 station for more than 4 decades now. They have a Class B license with the Federal Communications Commission, broadcasting at an ERP of 50,000 watts. Studios are located at 4154 Jennings Drive in Kalamazoo. Their transmitter is on North 44th Street and East EF Avenue in Augusta, Michigan. WKFR is owned by Town Square Media and licensed to Town Square License LLC. 103.7 Channel 279 is WCSY FM South Haven. Super Hits 103.7 Cozy FM. Cozy spelled COSY. This is a classic hits radio station affiliated with the Michigan Radio Network. Signing on the air as WZTY in 1996 and used WAFU as a call sign during the station's construction permit. On air, they used 6 different sets of call letters across an 8-year period until becoming WCSY-FM on November 10th, 2008. Excuse me. They have a Class A license with the Federal Communications Commission, broadcasting at 3,000 watts. Their main studios are located at 11637 M140 Suite B in South Haven, Michigan. Their secondary studios are at 580 East Napier Avenue in Benton Harbor. And the station's transmitter is in Covert, Michigan on 32nd Avenue. This station is owned by Midwest Family Broadcasting. 104.1 Channel 281 is WVGR Grand Rapids, Michigan Radio, Michigan's NPR news station. They are a public news and talk format with affiliations with NPR, Public Radio International, Public Media, and the BBC World Service. WVGR signed on the air on December 7th, 1961, and this is the second of the 3 Class B grandfathered superpowered radio stations in the Grand Rapids area, broadcasting with an effective radiated power of 96,000 watts. If this station was not grandfathered, WVGR would be assigned to be powered at only 23,500 watts. So it would be 4 times less the power that they operate at now. Their studios are located at 535 West William Street, Suite 1, on the University of Michigan's main campus in Ann Arbor. That's where programming for the Michigan Radio Network originates from. Transmitter is located off of Payne Lake Road in Wayland, and that's the same tower used by NBC television station Wood TV 8. WVGR, which is the West Michigan affiliate of Michigan Radio, is owned by the University of Michigan and is one of 5 stations that make up the network, along with WFUM in Flint, WLNZ in Lansing, WRSX in Port Huron, and network flagship WUOM Ann Arbor. Okay, we are down to the final 10 stations. 104.5 Channel 283, broadcasting in high definition, is WSNX FM Muskegon. 104.5 SNX on 104.5 FM analog, and 104.5-1 is Top 40 CHR. And 104.5-2 is known as 24/7 Black Comedy. WSNX FM signed on the air on November 18th, 1971 as the original WQWQ FM. The station became WSNX with the FM prefix added later in 1986. They have a Class B license with the FCC, broadcasting at 32,000 watts effective radiated power. Studios are located at 77 Monroe Center Street, Northwest in Grand Rapids. Transmitter is in Sullivan Township, Muskegon County, on Inslee Road near East Sherman Boulevard and Evanston Avenue. WSNX FM is owned by iHeartMedia, licensed to IHM Licenses, LLC. Sorry. Okay, that should help. 104.9 Channel 285 is WBXX Marshall. 104.9 The Edge. This is an alternative rock station, signing on the air as WALM FM in 1968 and using 4 different call signs until becoming WBXX on September 18, 2007. They have a Class A license with the Federal Communications Commission, broadcasting at 6,000 watts effective radiated power. Studios are located at 390 Golden Avenue in Battle Creek. Their transmitter is on 19 Mile Road near I Drive North in Marshall, the station's city of license. WBXX is owned by Town Square Media, licensed to Town Square License LLC. 105.3 Channel 287 would be a competitor to WSNX. And NET's WHTS, Coopersville. 105.3 Hot FM, GR's hottest hits. They feature a top 40 CHR format, which signed on as WCXT in 1984. The station became WHTS with its new top 40 format on May 4th, 2006. And again, this is a competitor to 104.5 WSNX. WHTS has a Class B license with the FCC, broadcasting at 20,000 watts. Studios are located at 60 Monroe Center Street, Northwest Suite 300 in Grand Rapids. Transmitters on West 136th Street and Alger Road in Grant, Michigan, near the transmitter used by ABC station WZZM-TV Channel 13. WHTS is owned by Cumulus Media and licensed to Radio License Holdings CBC LLC. 105.7 Channel 289, broadcasting in high definition, is WSRW-FM Grand Rapids. Star 105.7. On 105.7 FM analog and 105.7-1 is adult contemporary music throughout much of the year and Christmas music during the holidays. And on 105.7-2 is smooth jazz. This station signed on the air as WOOD FM on February 26, 1962. The station became WSRW FM in 2010. And this is the third of the Class B grandfathered super-powered radio stations in the Grand Rapids area, broadcasting with an effective radiated power of 265,000 watts, which would make it the second most powerful radio station in North America based on effective radiated power. Station otherwise would be operated at 35,000 watts if not grandfathered. Studios are located at 77 Monroe Center Street, Northwest Suite 1000 in Grand Rapids. Their transmitter is on Payne Lake Road in Wayland, which is the same tower used by Wood TV8 and Michigan radio affiliate WVGR-FM. WSRW-FM, in the meantime, is owned by iHeartMedia and licensed to IHM Licenses, LLC. 106.5 Channel 293 is WVFM, Kalamazoo, Battle Creek, Grand Rapids. 106.5 Jack FM, playing what we want. This is an adult hits radio station signing on as WKMI FM in June of 1964. So this would be the FM counterpart to WKMI AM 1360. Station became WSEO in 1966 and WQLR in 1972 until they became WVFM in 2007. Yeah, a Class B license with the Federal Communications Commission, broadcasting at 33,000 watts. Studios at 4200 West Main Street in Kalamazoo. Their transmitter is in Delton, off of South Indian Road near 4 Mile Road. WVFM 106.5 Jack FM is owned by Duke Wright and licensed to Midwest Communications Incorporated. 106.9 Channel 295, broadcasting in high definition, is WOOD FM Muskegon. News Radio Wood 1300 and 106.9. On 106.9 FM analog and 106.9-1 is News Talk. On 106.9-2 is also News Talk. This is the simulcast of 1090 WKBZ. Only the HD2 sub-channel on 106.9 operates 24 hours a day, whereas AM 1090 is a daytimer. WOOD FM, or the current iteration of WOOD FM, signed on the air as WMUS FM in November of 1962, and was also known as WFFM. Station became WOOD FM in 2010. The call sign was parked on 105.7 in Grand Rapids until they became WSRW FM. The current WOOD FM is a Class B license with the FCC, broadcasting at 50,000 watts. Studios are located at 3565 Green Street in Muskegon. Transmitter is on South Hilton Park Road in Wolf Lake, Michigan. WOOD FM is owned by iHeartMedia, licensed to IHM Licenses LLC, and this is the FM simulcast of Wood AM 1300 in Grand Rapids. Final page, final 4 stations. 107.1 Channel 296, broadcasting in high definition, is WIZX, or rather WIRX, St. Joseph, Benton Harbor. Rock 107 WIRX. On 107.1 FM analog and 107.1-1 is mainstream rock with no additional subchannels. They signed on the air as the original WSJM FM in 1964 and became WIRX 9. They have a Class A license with the Federal Communications Commission, broadcasting at 1200 watts ERP. Studios are located at 500 East Napier Avenue in Benton Harbor. Mailing address is P.O. Box 107, St. Joseph, Michigan, 49085. Their transmitter is on Town Line Road near US 31 in Sodus, Michigan. Sodus is spelled SODUS. WIRX is owned by Midwest Family Broadcasting. Short space next to them on 107.3 Channel 297 is WTNR Greenville, excuse me. Thunder 107.3, nobody plays more country, which is the same slogan B93 used back in the day. They play country music, signing on the air as WPLM in 1962. Also used WODJ as an oldies station, WKLQ as a mainstream rocker that was displaced on 94.5 for country music, and WBBL FM, which was the sports station that migrated from AM in 2004 or in 2006. They used all 3 of those call signs before they became WTNR in 2019, which, much like WKOQ, resided on 104 or on 94.5. WTNR is a Class B license for the Federal Communications Commission, broadcasting at 50,000 watts effective radiated power. Studios are located at 60 Monroe Center Street, Northwest Suite 300 in Grand Rapids. Their transmitter is in Lowell on Lincoln Lake Road. WTNR is owned by Cumulus Media, licensed to Radio License Holdings CBC LLC. 107.7 channel 299 is WRKR Portage. 107.7 RKR, the Rocker. This is a classic rock station which signed on the air on October 17th, 1988, kept its same call letters and its format since. They have a Class B license with the Federal Communications Commission, broadcasting at 50,000 watts. Studios are located at 4154 Jennings Drive in Kalamazoo, with transmitters off of EV Avenue in Fulton, Michigan. WRKR, the Rocker, is owned by Town Square Media and licensed to Town Square Licensee LLC, or rather Town Square License LLC, I'm sorry. And our final station is 107.9 channel 300, broadcasting in high definition, WMUS Muskegon. 107 MUS The Moose, on 107.9 FM analog and 107.1-1 is country music. 107.9-2 is Halloween radio, which is pretty much all Halloween music all the time. WMUS FM signed on the air circa 1988 as WKBZ FM. They became WMHG Magic 108 with an urban contemporary format, and that lasted from March 19th, 1993 until November 18th, 1996. That's when they became WMUS, which was previously on 106.9, and that took place on January 3rd, 2011. They have a Class B1 license with the Federal Communications Commission, broadcasting at 15,000 watts. Studios are located at 3565 South Green Street in Muskegon. Transmitter also in Muskegon at 3705 West Giles Road. WMUS is owned by IDEA and licensed to IHM Licenses LLC. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is that. The FM radio stations from across West Michigan, from Grand Rapids to Kalamazoo to Muskegon to Battle Creek and down into Benton Harbor, St. Joe. We even went into Indiana a couple of times. That was quite the trip. You know, I'm going to continue this, taking a look at the radio stations across Michigan markets, mainly southern lower Michigan. I think the next market we'll take a look at will be the Lansing-Jackson market. They'll do the Flint Tri-Cities area, and then we'll reissue the greater Detroit market on top of that. So those vids will be coming down the pipes here in the next few weeks. But for now, like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. Ring the bell twice every time I go live. This is Big Al signing off. Thanks for watching and happy listening, folks. Peace out.